Okay, so Lightroom curves is pretty advanced. It's a pretty advanced setting, but once you get the hang of it, it's quite easy to use and very nice. That first curve setting there with the white circle, that's the lighting, or I guess you could say the softer or the harsher settings. You can see I kind of made it a little bit harsh there, but this one makes it a little bit more dark and soft. You can make it harsh and soft. It's honestly, you can play around with it so much. And every picture you do will look differently, so that makes quite a harsh lighting, but it's soft harsh, if you know what I mean. Then the red curve, that one brings out more of the greens and the pinks and the blues and reds, obviously, in pictures. See right here, I brought in some more green and brought in some more red, and then in between those two curves, I softened it to make it a little bit more of a dull color. And the green curve, obviously that one brings out more purple because it's a duotone, and some more greens. So in between those curves, like again I said with the red, you can make curves, and in between the curves you can add more colors and you can mix colors. And you can pull colors from the background too. Now with the blue curve, that one brings out kind of obviously more blue, some purple. If you go far enough, you can get some yellow or some green. I like using that one quite a bit because it brings out more colors than the other two curves I find. That one's one of the ones I use quite a bit. And lastly, the lighting curve. So this one is a little bit harder to get the hang of. It took me a while to get there. I still don't even know it fully, but there's little sliders on the bottom that you see, and you can move those sliders to adjust what part of the picture you're making brighter. So the way I understand it, if you move it more to the left, it obviously makes the left side more bright. So the left bottom corner and kind of the top and a little bit more of the middle. The right slider does more of the right side, and the middle kind of does the whole picture. That's kind of how I've been using it, and that's how it's been working best for me. You can move them so you can adjust different spots on the picture. Now here's where it gets tricky. With brighter photos, you can pull out more colors than you can in dark photos, but the problem with that is when you pull out more colors, it can usually make some really ugly neon patches of like yellows or whites, or it just pulls random colors from you don't even know where it's coming from, or it can add it can make a whole a sheet, kind of like a sheet layer of a different color, and it makes it soft and pretty harsh, and it doesn't really look the best. Some people might like that for their editing. I personally don't, because it sometimes even downgrades the quality of your pictures too. So you want to probably use curves mostly on darker photos. You can do it on lighter photos, but it won't give you the same result because, lighting in pictures makes the way you edit it differently. But I find with the color curves on lighter photos, that's when it pulls out the weird colors, and I'm not usually a huge fan of that because it makes the colors so much harsher. But in darker pictures, obviously since it's dark, you can't see them as well, so you don't notice the little faults that it will give you. Now with the blue curve, that usually is the one that I find that pulls out the weirdest colors on brighter pictures. So you can see in a second here when I adjust the top curve, look at the top middle, and it kind of makes it really bright and neon, and it kind of adjusted some of the grass by Ellie's foot too. And it doesn't look the greatest, so I usually tone that down quite a bit, or I'll just go back and soften it or get rid of it completely because it does not look how I want it to, and it usually ends up making those patches really terrible quality. So here's what I was saying about the colors that it pulls out. It makes it softer. It added an entire patch of that light purple color, and we don't want that, so I tone that down quite a bit whenever I'm editing pictures and that happens, because I don't want that tone. So I'll kind of just tone it down or make it a little bit brighter or make it softer, so I still have that color, but it's just not as harsh. I'm still learning how to use the curves properly, but hopefully this taught some of you guys who don't know how to use curves at all about how to use them, because they are quite fun once you get used to them.